Hello there everybody, welcome back. So I'm gonna get right on with a playtest here. You'll notice we're in MZ thanks to our good old friend Count Zero Interrupted. There we go, perfect. So this is the start of the game. You'll notice it doesn't really look the best right now visual wise. I do plan on fixing that. Probably by doing a Photoshop like that parallax processing thing, because you'll notice like the corners there specifically, they're very noticeable because they don't blend very well with the water background as you've noticed, so I'm gonna fix that. So this is good old Freya. Hey, I'm glad to see you're okay. Hello there. And then it blanks. Careful, our shaman is good, but we're not entirely sure how you were hurt, so like, he's still a bit injured. Ugh, my head is killing me. How did I get here? You were found outside our gates by the guards. After that they brought you to the shaman who healed you. However, the guards needed to rush out swiftly. Those damn fools always rushing to save us. I definitely need to change that. Thank you, always constantly going through this for sorting those out for me, so I need to change that to always. I hate to ask you this, but please, the guards have been gone much longer than usual. Please, will you help us? Then you can say yes or no. Obviously I've not added the no option yet. On this version, you'll notice that it was added on the previous version. I know where I'm going with it. Not added yet on this version. But the first, like, I'm gonna do a little good portion of the game, show off my mechanics, show off what I've got going for this game, and that is gonna actually be available on itch.io as a demo, free for everyone to play, so they'll be able to experience things, including this super secret no option that I keep going on about, that I'm definitely not showing off, because that's a very fun, unique idea for me. Of course, it's the least I can do. If you had not helped, then who knows what would have happened to me. Thank you. First we should go to the blacksmith and get you geared up. And then she saunters off. You know where to go because that's where she was. But you can of course go into the shaman's hut where you came out of. Hey there, I'm glad you're up and moving again. I'm still glad I could heal you. My power seems to be flickering recently. I wonder what's going on. And then of course, a selection of books covered the rich oak bookshelf. Most have titles that are undecipherable, however some catch your eye. You take the first book from the shelf. The title of the book is The Tree of Life. You open the book to a random spot and read a paragraph. Yggdrasil holds all of the 9 realms in place. Should it die, it would spell the end of every realm. You put the book back in place. Do you pick another book? We're going to select yes here. You can select no any option after each of these book paragraphs. They're not actual book paragraphs, but little lore pieces, you know. This one is titled The God of Chaos. You open the book in a random spot and read a paragraph. Loki is the god of mischief, chaos and trickery. Although he is considered a god, he is only half due to his Jotun upbringing. This leaves him bitter due to his brother Thor being the true heir. You put the book back in place and have one last book you're able to understand the title of. Would you like to read a paragraph of it? The final book is called The Midgard Serpent. You open a random spot and read a paragraph. Jormungandr is the mighty serpent that envelops the world. It is said that this will be the greatest asset in the battle of Ragnarok, as its purpose is to be a weapon against Thor. You put the book back in place and move away from the bookcase. And then you actually move away automatically, which is pretty cool. And then I've got this monolith. You can't interact on this side because I'm pretty sure that would cancel Freya running at you right at the start of the game. Well, walking at you right at the start of the game. There were inscriptions lay across the large stone monument. The language is strange and foreign. Now this is actually Old Norse, and it translates to it sates itself on the lifeblood of fated men, paints red the powers' homes with crimson gore, black becomes the sun's beams in the summers that follow, weather's all treacherous. Do you still seek to know? And what? And that, written right there, is actually in Old Norse. I'm not even gonna try and say whatever the hell that is, because screw that. I'm not very good at languages as it is, or speaking, so God knows I do not want to try and read that, but thought that were a pretty cool addition. Then you've got this. It has to look like this. I wanted to make it an actual big wooden gate, but you know, the effects of an event don't actually cover the thing, so that's the best I'm doing. The large wooden gate holds strong and firm. All sounds quiet on the other side. Then you enter the blacksmith. Bjorn! Hey there, Freya, what's wrong? The guards have not returned yet. I'm concerned they never take this long. You're right, that is troubling. Can you help? This person said they would help. I'm unsure as to how much help they can be, but 2 is better than 1. Hey, I'm right here, you know. Well, it is dangerous. Besides, you don't exactly seem aware of where you are, so it's unlikely you know how bad it is out there. True, I was just kidding anyway. Pardon my lack of humour in this situation. If I might interject, of course I can help, but of course I do still need funds. The guards took most of the stock when they went out. Of course they understand we're all low on funds in this trying time. Here is 150 gold, it should get you some basic equipment. Come speak to me when done. That is spelt wrong, I am going to have to sort that out. Plus 150 gold. Hey there, are you ready? No, I still need to gear up. Okay, I'll be here waiting. I'm sure the guards are fine. -1 guard survival rate. Now that is another little mechanic. Now that's going to tick down naturally. There's going to be various quests with this mechanic throughout the game. And you start with a base value of 10. Now if that reaches 0, you cannot save the guards. And by not saving the guards, you'll never get to upgrade the blacksmith, which will give better gear, which will make the easier game hard, the early game easier. So, you know, don't waste NPC's time basically. Now this world is gonna be screwed up basically. Like, here's my thing before we continue this, my vision. I want to make a world that feels like it's alive, not that your character is the sole focus and, you know, everything matters because of your character. Like, your character is going to be involved in a lot of stuff, don't get me wrong. But there is going to be an entire, like, story here outside of your character as well as what's going on in the current story. Like, there's going to be pieces of lore scattered around in like bookcases, for example, and other things like certain NPCs and certain quests will give you a feel for stuff, but then you'll find out about other stuff, and then, you know, if you can choose to either do that quest or not do that quest, depending on how you feel, but you probably don't. But I know there's some sick people out there that definitely would want to, and you know they can, but they're gonna have to deal with the consequences of their actions. It ain't gonna be no happy, happy, friendly, jolly time for them if they do, because that they're gonna suffer. That sounds really masochistic. You know what I'm trying to say, masochistic. That's definitely not how you say that, but you know, it's not like that. It's just, you know, they've got to be prepared to actually face consequences rather than just nothingness like nearly every other game out there. I apologise, we do not have much in terms of wares right now. Hopefully you can help save the guards and we can get some supplies back. Notice how throughout this I'm not saying hopefully you can save the guards. This isn't a sole thing. Your character isn't the sole reason that they help. They're not all powerful and all strong and everything alone. Notice that. You know, just something very important in my opinion. Ah yes, that sword. I remember forging that. It once belonged to a guard here. However, I have not seen him in a very long time. If you see him, tell him I said hello. I've heard people call him the Dark Knight now. Here, take this. It will help with your perilous journey ahead. +1 potion. Now, although this dialogue is the same, if you exit here, although it does say this because you've got that sword, no potion. That is very intentional, of course, but I actually managed to sort that out, which was pretty cool. So it doesn't give potion the second time, or the third time, or the 5th time, or the 100th time. Only the first time do you ever get the potion. Let us hurry. I hope they are okay. Then you're in the Bifrost. And that is as far as I've got. That is up and coming. Right here. Right here. And yeah, that's what I've done. I've done that over the past few days. I did take a break when I got gifted MZ because, you know, the thoughts of redoing it, what I'd already done for the third time, was just a bit much for me, so I did have to take a much needed break for that. But back in development, my plan is I'm going to do a bit of it each and every single day, and by doing that it will eventually be finished. There will eventually be a full game out there. There'll eventually be the demo out there for you guys to try. Some days will be bigger, some days will be smaller, but ultimately each day there'll be something added. So if you're very interested in watching the development of this game or watching me play random games, because, you know, I'm not just focusing on one thing throughout my entire life, because then I'll lose focus because of ADHD. If you're interested in watching my random assortment of content on my channel, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to like this video if you like it, or dislike it if you dislike it, of course. And I hope that you all have an absolute amazing day. I thank you all for joining, and this has been me, Serene Generation, and I am out, yo. Peace.